Dennis Erickson played and coached college football in the Big Sky Conference for two different universities. He was a first-team all-conference quarterback in the 1960s for Montana State, where he led the Bobcats to 3 consecutive Big Sky titles. Following his playing days, he started his coaching career in Bozeman as a graduate assistant. Eventually, Erickson's career led him to Moscow, where he was the head coach of the Idaho Vandals from 1982 to 85. While at Idaho, he made 2 playoff appearances and claimed a pair of conference titles. He left Moscow as the program's all-time wins leader. Following his time in the Big Sky, Erickson won a pair of national championships for the Miami Hurricanes and spent a number of years in the National Football League. In 2019, he was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. Dennis Erickson, Montana State Bobcat, Idaho Vandal, and member of the Big Sky Conference Hall of Fame.
For the first time since the Big Sky Conference started its Hall of Fame, one of our inductees has 2 school logos on his beautiful ring provided by Barron Rings. It's a unique ring in that it has a Bobcat logo and a Vandal logo. Is Dennis Erickson being inducted tonight because of his quarterback play at Montana State in the late 1960s? Or is he being inducted for the success he had as the Idaho Vandals head coach from 1982 to 1985? I don't think it really matters. The simple fact is, Dennis Erickson belongs in the Big Sky Conference Hall of Fame. And 2 of our schools embrace and celebrate Dennis Erickson for his accomplishments. Through his illustrious coaching career that has taken him to places like Billings Central Catholic High School, Fresno State, Idaho, San Jose State, Wyoming. Hold on a second. This is a long list. Washington State, Miami, Oregon State, back to Idaho, Arizona State, South Albany High School in Oregon, the Utah Utes, not to mention NFL coaching stops with the Seattle Seahawks and San Francisco 49ers, a stop with the Salt Lake Stallions of the short-lived Alliance of American Football. This part of the country and the Big Sky Conference has always been his home. And tonight, this College Football Hall of Famer, this Big Sky champion as a player at Montana State, this Big Sky champion as a coach at Idaho, this University of Idaho Hall of Famer, this Montana State Hall of Famer, this Montana Pro Football Hall of Famer, takes his rightful place in the Big Sky Conference Hall of Fame, a full 60 years after he first stepped on the field for the Montana State Bobcats. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the legendary Dennis Erickson to the Big Sky Conference Hall of Fame.
Dennis, congratulations. John just listed off all of the Hall of Fames you're in. We were just talking about these rings that you're wearing. You're getting another one tonight. You're in so many Hall of Fames already. Why is this induction into the Big Sky Hall of Fame so special to you?
This is really the most important because this is Montana State gave me an opportunity as a player, not a very good player, but as a player, and going there and doing the things we did, and then having the opportunity to coach at the University of Idaho, my first head coaching job. There were obviously a lot of other jobs in between, but it was both Idaho and Montana State have a big influence on what I've done in my coaching career.
Someone else who's had an influence is, of course, your dad. You grew up around the game. He was a coach. How did he impact your career as a player and as a head coach?
Well, when I was growing up, I went to high school in Everett, Washington, and that's where I went to school. And my dad was a head coach at Cascade High School in the same town. And so there were some battles. And my mother, I'll tell you what, she had a damn heart attack all the time, But I remember coming home after I was playing and played Cascade, and I get in the house, and my mom's furious. furious at my dad. And I said, Mom, what's going on? Well, his guys hit you too hard and too many times. And that was the end of not the marriage, but everything else.
Well, the playing your dad's team continued when you became a Bobcat, as he was a coach for the Grizzlies. Mm-hmm. How did your mom handle that rivalry?
Well, I think divorce was the number one thing in her mind. Other than, his team was picking on her little baby boy. And that didn't go over too good, but it was okay for me. But when my dad came home after that game, boy, it was ugly. I'm surprised they were alive.
Even though you grew up playing against your dad, what was the best piece of advice he gave you that you carried with you throughout your career?
Just be yourself. Believe in what you're doing, particularly in the coaching part of it, and make sure that your players understand where you're coming from. And to me, that's the most important thing. As long as the players believe in what you're doing and you believe in what the players are doing, then you got a chance to win.
You began your coaching career as a GA for Montana State. Your first head coaching job, of course, was with Idaho. You took over a Vandals program that had a total of 4 winning seasons across 4 decades. Why were you up for the challenge of turning that program around?
Well, there was a time that I coached as an assistant for Ed Troxel, who was the head football coach. I always thought that they had a chance to really be good in the Big Sky. They recruited the Northwest and things like that. And so I really thought if we recruited the right area, which is Northwest and, some players from California, that we would have a chance to win. And that's exactly what happened.
Idaho was your first stop head coaching during Hall of Fame career. When you left, you were the program's all-time win leader, won 2 Big Sky titles, had 2 playoff appearances, go on to win national championships with Miami. But how did your time in Moscow lay the foundation for your success throughout your entire career?
Well, it was the school and the boosters and the people that were there. I mean, they were hungry, but they had some good seasons before I got there, believe me. And, I was fortunate to have a pretty good team when I got there. And they just didn't believe in what they were doing. And we set the standard of how we wanted things done. And so we ended up winning some games. I think one of the biggest things that happened to us is when I went to coach at Idaho, I was at San Jose State with Jack Elway, who I'm sure people know. But anyway, we were really the first team at San Jose State to spread things out. And when I went to the University of Idaho, we spread things out. And we'd have one guy in the backfield, we'd have nobody in the backfield. Nobody knew what was going on. Linebackers were running into each other. And we were able to really be good at that. And that offense, in my career, continued, and I saw other teams do it. And I was really excited about having something to do with whatever you want to call it, the spread offense, and that made a big difference.
You told me this would not have been possible without the players. What do you want to say to all those guys tonight?
I love them. That's what it's all about. I mean, you can chew their rear ends out when things aren't going, but if they understand that, then you got a chance to win every game. And we lost some games, but they played hard all the time, and they made some mistakes, but we were able to overcome those and win some football games, and that was what it was all about. But I think team unity, everybody being together, and that was really important. And that's how we got that thing turned around. And after I left, John L. Smith came in, Keith Gilbertson, and they kept that program going. So I'm really proud of that.
Well, Dennis, it's been an absolute honor being able to sit here and talk to you tonight. Congratulations on an incredible career as not only a player, but a coach in the Big Sky.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. You good?